him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny then snatched him already.
Hello, my people, and welcome back again to another interesting video. Dr. Umar was having a conversation, and it was like black women do not like to invest in black men. They want already finished products, and that is why some black men will go out there and go and meet white women, and white women will see them and see the potential in them and invest in them. Then later on, the black woman will be like, oh, this guy is now rich, I want him. That black women do not always want to invest in their men because they just don't want to. They already want a finished product. And it was like, it's difficult for black men to make it out there. So why is it so difficult for even black women to invest in their men? And he asked a question. It was like, if you're dating a guy, or even if you're married to him, or you're dating him, and you saw that he has potential to get rich, and it's like, invest in me probably $700 every month, and I'm going to give you good return later on in the years, would you do it? So I'm asking, will you do it? Let me go ahead and read this video for you also watch, and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Dr. Umar says the reason why black women cannot get a black man is because too often black women are requiring that there's a finished product, meaning the black man meets all of the criteria, instead of meeting a black man who treats you right and investing in that man and getting him to be the man that you want him to be. He says that this is why the snow bunny crisis is so rampant, because a white woman will find a black man who has potential, invest in him, and then when you see that black man 5 years down the line as the finished product, you say, wow, look at that black man who sold out and got that snow bunny. This conversation was so good. He went and sat down with Wintana on the Bittersweet podcast. You can find it on YouTube, but let's take a listen to a piece of the conversation.
Struggling to find what kind of black
okay, let's talk about it.
Black men all in Australia.
No. We have.
So what kind of black men are you struggling to find? Are you struggling to find a millionaire? Are you struggling to find somebody who's 6'3" with a six-pack stomach?
No.
Are you struggling to find someone who can finance a European expensive materialistic lifestyle?
No.
What kind of black man are you struggling to find?
Let's talk about the culture in Australia versus the culture in America. I don't think it is quite different. It is. It is. I think now we're being more influenced.
One of the biggest mistakes that I find in the diaspora is we swear we're so randomly different. As probably the most traveled African in the Western Hemisphere, we're not that significantly different.
No, but we
there
are.
Might be some new. No, we're not. No, we're not.
I don't think black women. Okay, let's talk about it, because I'm getting dilemmas where women are talking about they're successful, they're in their careers, and they're looking for a decent guy. They're not asking for a man to earn triple the amount that he's earning.
Is decent? Give me 3 criteria for decent. I'm a psychologist. You must define the term. Give me 3 criteria for decent.
So he's emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
Assuming she is as well.
Assuming she is as well. He is a provider, so he's able to. Or he has a decent job. They are on the same.
What is a decent job?
Define
the term.
He makes an amount that is in the same tax bracket as the woman. Let's just say that. Same tax bracket.
Okay.
Emotionally intelligent.
Financial equity.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just say he's a provider, he's nurturing, and he cares to build a family with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the question?
And the question is, women are struggling to find men that they can date.
Okay. Couple things. Number 1, black women cannot, shall not, should not expect a black man to be able to provide them with the same type of a lifestyle that a Caucasian can provide for the white female, because the Caucasian benefits from white privilege, the black man suffers from white racism. So we should not be, no sister should be looking for a European equivalent or an African equivalent of a European. A black man has to work twice as hard to get half as much. So although I can appreciate the financial equity, but if you are a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer as an African woman in Australia or America or the UK or Toronto or Johannesburg, looking for a black man who has financial equity with your type of career success, that's going to be difficult. You might got to tone it down a little bit. What I find as a therapist who works with couples, married, divorced, and otherwise, too often black women prioritize a man's income over his masculinity, meaning he might can provide. He's willing to help with those children. He will nurture you, look out for you, but he might not be able to put you in a Mercedes. He might not be able to help you with that $1 million mortgage. And I've seen black women turn down good men, very good men, because he didn't have the economics, but he had everything else. Sisters need to be careful not to fall into this European narrative of judging men primarily by how much they make.
I can agree with that. I think that these are two extreme scenarios here, because I think if a man we're talking about financial equity, if he is making enough to build a household with you, to be a leader in the household, I think women are okay with that. I think that's not what they're getting. I think they're getting the other end of the spectrum. That's what we're hearing. You know what I mean?
Would you have a problem if you met a man who made half of what you made or a third of what you made, but he had a financial vision of an empire, a business, some sort of an entrepreneurial undertaking?
See, I think that's dangerous.
Stay with me.
I think that's dangerous.
Let me finish it, and then I want you to respond. And he needed you to help invest in his dream. And he gave you a definitive timeline. He said, give me 12 months or 24, no more than that. If you invest in me, I promise you what I'm going to build will equal where you are. Would you have a problem investing in him?
What does investing in him mean?
Let's say he needed $700 a month to help fuel this dream. He needed $700 for 24 months. Could you do it? You're reluctant.
I am reluctant. I am
Tell me why.
reluctant because what's the guarantee?
There is no guarantees in love. There is no guarantees in romance.
And
If
also,
you need a guarantee,
I
you
think
can't get in it.
context matters. How long
I
have
agree.
we been together?
I agree.
You know, if it's just a guy that I met last year and all of a sudden he has these dreams and
No,
he
y'all
wants me
been
to
dating
fund
for
it.
about 2 years. You like him. There might even be some love there. And he's saying
There might be
invest
some
in
love
me.
there is crazy. There has to be some love there.
Let's say there
There
is.
has to be a future there. And I think that's what I'm saying. Context matters. If I see myself with
But
this
you didn't
man,
answer the question. Let's say
Yeah.
all those things are there. Will you financially invest in him? Be honest, my queen. They already answered for you. They said hell to the nizzo.
yeah. Look,
Why not, though? Why do you have a problem with that? Given the atmosphere of racism and economic oppression that black men suffer in Australia, why would you have
But
a
what
problem
are black
investing
men
in your
subject
king?
to that women are not? We're
Say that
going through
again.
the same thing.
True, but it operates differently. The racism against black men is significantly more aggressive than the racism against black women. Now, I don't want to get into an oppression Olympics because I agree with you. We all suffer and we suffer together. But a man's primary responsibility is to be a provider. And we don't feel adequate as men when we can't provide. So your king, who you love, who you've been dating for 2 or 3 years, is saying, baby, invest in me for these 18 to 24 months. And I promise you I will cross that finish line. You're still reluctant.
I'm
Why?
reluctant. I'm reluctant. As my husband, if we were married and something like that happened, of course, I would be open to doing that.
But would you be open to even marrying him if he was not the provider you needed him to be? He's saying, help me level up so I can become the person you want to marry. He's asking you to help him level up.
I think.
Let me tell you why you're reluctant. And I don't have a problem with your reluctance, but I want to explain something.
Okay.
And I want all my young sisters to hear me. A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to, stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny then snatched him already.
Dr. Umar says the reason why black women cannot get a black man is because too often black women are requiring that there's a finished product.
Snow Bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that Snow Bunny will see a black man with potential and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it.
This man is a fucking liar. So first of all, I'm sorry for the long stitch. I'm sorry I had to subject y'all to that, but I didn't want to he said, she said. You heard it from the horse's mouth. So what he's saying is a goddamn lie. Look at the evidence. Black men seek out black women every day to be their mules. And then when they get on, they leave your ass for a white girl, just like Kanye said, and then did. Hart, Michael Jordan, Jesse Williams, also known as Jackson Avery on Grey's Anatomy, all started out with black wives. And as soon as they got a little money and fame, as soon as they used that woman's hard work to catapult them to success, they dumped her and got with either a preference or an actual white woman. And this is going back to the days of Sidney Poitier, James Earl Jones, Harry Belafonte. They have always done this. Use black women's labor to build themselves up. The white woman is not getting with any man with some potential or whatever and building him and lifting him. She gets the finished product. These men will lie right to your fucking face. It is so irritating. Just tell outright lies everybody can see is false. And then these men, oh yeah, oh he preaching. You goddamn liar. That's the first thing. The second thing is sometimes there is a white or non-black woman there from the start, but it wasn't like he was in the gutter. She could already see, not even potential, the end product. Kobe Bryant's a great example of that. He met his wife in high school when he was being scouted. I mean, he started playing right out of high school. She obviously already knew senior year he was going to be successful. Otherwise, do you think her non-black family would have had that black man living in their house? They wanted to cash in. So this potential he's talking about, it's not embryonic. It's literally 2 steps from the finish line. And he already wasn't checking for black women. And that's the third thing that gets on my fucking nerves. The demographics have all these rules and requirements that are only for black women. Oh, did you hold me down? Did you do this? Did you do that? Robert Smith, a black billionaire, is married to an ex-Playboy bunny. They don't require all this education, class, loyalty, devotion, etc., etc. In the non-black women they wife up. They get with anything. And the demographics who don't have 1/10 of that earning potential or, the social graces and whatnot, expect the sun, the moon, and the stars. They expect perfection. They want Michelle Obama. And that's the entry level for you to be able to hold them down. You're supposed to be so perfect for the opportunity to sacrifice for a man. And they bring absolutely nothing to the table. I'm just here to refute the spuriousness of what he's saying. Because black men repeat this crap like it's the gospel. Oh, well, we have it harder. Like she said, what are you going through that black women aren't going through? We already proved with this last election, black women are going through way more than you. So you can just shut the fuck up. And part of what we're going through is black men. You all are the problem. Who's killing us? Y'all. Who's stressing us out? Y'all. Black women have the highest homicide rate. Who's kidnapping and trafficking our girls? Y'all. So, for them to turn around and play victim just really aggravates my soul. Honestly, I wish everything bad on this man and his ilk. But that's his game. Just a few weeks ago, he was saying, oh, if I had a wife at whatever point, I'd be so much further along in life. All they want to do is milk you for your labor. And now that black women have gotten wise, especially in the wake of the election, they are trying to spin every narrative to make themselves the victim and make them seem like they're entitled to your labor. Oh, the reason we're not picking you is because you're not muling hard enough. Fuck out of here. When have they required muledom from white women? And for them to tell outright lies like this, expecting nobody to call them on it, is fucking bullshit. This is exactly why I have a backup so I can say what I want. But nobody's falling for this game anymore. You can try to triangulate all you want. Because this goes back to what I've been saying for the longest time about Schrodinger's white woman. That's my original term. Black men want to talk about how the white woman is everything good, perfect, docile, feminine, helpful. She's a wonderful person until they get into trouble. And then she is the evil harpy. Oh my God, they want to invoke Emmett Till. She's everything but a child of God. Oh, I need a black one to pick me up. Look at Jonathan Majors. You cannot have it both ways. And it's just a silly move to try and triangulate white women. And black women are not going for it anymore. Because men like him and Louis Farrakhan, don't think I didn't peep that, have all these excuses. They're supposed to be so goddamn pro-black, but they have every excuse in the world. Oh, well, see, the black man, he does this and that. It's your fault. You're not supportive enough. But if a black woman dates out because she wants someone who cares about her and treats her well, all of a sudden, you're a gold digger, you're greedy, you're expecting too much. Teresa had an excellent take on this. She said, we're expecting black men to be on the same level that we're at because we overcame the same obstacles. And he's saying, you expect yourself, you want too much. You are impossible. Apparently not, because we're here. Black men need to stop comparing themselves to women because they are not women. Go compete with the men. The demographics really are just such fucking losers. It's crazy. Like, I don't see any other men in the world using women as a measuring stick. And then making excuses as to why women in the worst circumstances manage to get it out the mud and you're still living in your mother's basement. But the reason they're on their podcasts and beating their chest and whatnot is because everyone sees them. Going back to the election, it was a great time for exposure. Everybody was calling it out, from other black men like Barack Obama to white men like Biden. Even on the Republican side of the aisle, they were like, this is kind of fucking ridiculous. This group of so-called men is not behaving like one. When Kamala was asking what they wanted, and a lot of them, oh, we want child support forgiveness. We don't want to have to support our own children that we laid down and made. They were like, you just don't want any accountability. You are losers. You're not fit to participate in the world. What kind of man advocates against supporting his child? The imagery of black men as these layabouts, has gotten so bad. Even other black men are trying to separate themselves, but it's too late. You have allowed this to be your dominant voice for so long. Men complaining and whining, honestly, tirelessly about women, jealous of children for getting more attention than them. That's what you sound like. Oh, help me, build me up. You want a goddamn mother. Grow the fuck up. It's crazy to me. Black girls are adultified from the damn womb, and grown men still want to get back into the womb and be fucking breastfed. And I always say the only reason the community looks the way it looks, the adultification and parentification of girls and whatnot, is to substitute for the labor that the absent fathers are not doing. Everything that's wrong stems from the fact that these are the most worthless fucking men on earth. And I want to be clear, I mean the entire diaspora. Look at Africa. Look at the Caribbean. And look at my own people, the Black Americans. It's the same story in all places. All over the globe. Wherever these men exist, wherever the demographics are, the same results. There's an area, I can't think of what country it is, in Africa, where there's a practice of letting the man have one boob of the breastfeeding mother. And I said, if that's just not a metaphor for life, these men are taking literal sustenance from children because they feel so entitled. I remember reading an article about it, and the man said, oh, it's just so comforting. He was literally coming home on his lunch break to take nourishment away from his child. It's so much. And even though the practice has been proven to be bad, like it's bad for your children, not only are they not getting enough milk, but there's a chance of transfer of, adult germs to the baby, infection, blah, blah, blah. Men still insist on it. And I'm like, of course, because they're in competition with who? Women and children. Losers is so much. But I had to stitch this. I had to do it because if you follow me and you are a Black woman, please, I have implored you on my knees long enough. Leave the demographics alone. This is what you're fighting for. And this is a more obvious red flag, but I have to say, as someone who was in education, I've been all over the country. I've been to PWIs and HBCUs and heard the varied attitudes of the demographics at every level, at the highest level and at the lower levels. Nothing changes but the language. It's the same entitlement, same desire to get something for nothing, same lack of impetus to invest in a woman. I have to give my standard disclaimer, all XYs are trash. They're garbage people. Like, honestly, your life's going to be better if you don't speak to them. But if you insist, if you really desire a romantic relationship, these are not the ones. There will be nothing of romance about it because they're the ones who expect to be courted and pampered like little princesses. And now they want to be mothered like they're your damn son. I just want to vomit. The disgust is real. Stay away from them. Like and follow for more.
I would not do it. And why I would not do it is because you guys are not trustworthy. You guys are manipulators. You guys are liars. You guys are liars. Okay? So if I'm going to be investing, it's not that you cannot get a woman that will do it for you. A woman will love you. See, when a woman loves you, she gives you everything. She puts everything aside to make you happy. But because of other people's experience, and when people that have done something like that come out to tell you, these are the things that I did, this was how gullible I was, and a lot of people are saying almost the same story, you on the other hand, you will not want to do it because you'll be afraid, like, okay, I don't want my story to be the same thing as this woman A. I don't want my own to also come out as this woman B, because everybody is saying the same thing. Investing in men is not the problem. It's not like if you have the money, you can just give them. But when you invest in them, what do they do in return? Are they loyal? When they start having the money, do they give you back? Do they respect you? One thing I know is you can never know a man's full behavior until he has money. Men act like some men that are not, they don't really have money. Probably it's a woman that has so much money, their wives is so rich. They act all gentle, all calm. They're very respectful. They do everything. They clean. In fact, they can even cook for you. They do things just to please you because they know that you are the one bringing the bag. Look at the other way. If he was the one bringing the bag, will he do all those things? He would turn the wife to a trad wife. So now, if you as a woman, you invested in a man, you're like, I see the potential. I can see that he has so much dreams, and his dreams is something that is going to come true. You put in your all the money you're making, even if it's not all, you're trying to put the house, you run the house, you feed him, you do everything for him, and you still give him money. Let him make that money and see him telling you that you are not his dream girl. At the end of the day, he will look for something stupid to say and tell you why he cannot be with you. So tell me why I will want to invest in a man. I can't, because all of you are a bunch of liars and manipulators. You guys lie and manipulate. A friend of mine was telling me something last night, and she was like, there's this one of our uncle that she's really pissed off. Our uncle left the girlfriend. It's not even girlfriend, they are married. Said the girl suffered with him for 7 years. He had nothing. That she was, in fact, she was even giving him money. She would go and meet her parents, give him money so that they would eat. Like, they were married, you guys. They were married. He had nothing. In fact, he did not have a roof over. He could not provide a roof for his family. They were staying in family house. To tell you how bad he was poor. The moment he started, getting money and everything, now that he has money, do you know what he did? He said he wants to marry a second wife. In fact, he has even married a second wife. And what was his reason? Because people are like, this girl suffered with you for 7 years, and now you are like, I want to marry somebody else. Like, was that a wickedness? And it's like, she cannot, that after during that 7 years, or this is 7 years, and she doesn't even have a child, she cannot reproduce. So I want a woman that can reproduce. This is why I will never invest in any man. And suffering with a man does not mean that he will love you when he has the money. Most of the time, they will tell you to your face, did I force you? Did I force you to stay? Did I force you to give me money? If you want to invest, make it a business deal and bring your lawyers. Make it a confirmed contract that you're going to sign papers. As you are making so money is entering my account. It is, don't do it because of love. Because most of the time, they do not love you. They are doing it because, I'm going to get whatever I want to get from this girl. She's going to elevate me. Because most of the time, when women elevate these men, when they get elevated, they leave those women that elevated them. They go and meet other women. They are no longer faithful, they are no longer loyal, they are no longer caring anymore, and they start acting anyhow because now they have money. And I always say you can never know a man's true character unless he has money. If you're a poor guy or you're the one feeding him and you're like, oh, I have the best man in the world, let him have money and let him feed you, then you will know if you're really with the best man in the whole world. So I don't like, if I was the one he asked the question straight up, I will tell him no, I will not. Love or not, I will not. It's not because I can't, but I will not. And even if I will, it has to be documented so that eventually in the years, if you now make it, so even if me and you don't work, the love is no longer there, we cannot work anymore, or you're out there chasing girls, or you're cheating, or you're doing anything, I still get back my income in my account. So the money I invested in you will not waste. Okay? That is my own take. What is your take? Can you share your thoughts? What is your own take? Can you share your thoughts down in the comment section? Respectfully as always, right? And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.